Hello, Longhorns. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Today we're going to talk about perpendicular lines. And so I'm going to go on and share my screen with you. And we're going to get started on our PowerPoint. Okay, so we're writing equations for perpendicular lines from equations and from graphs. So let's recap some of the things we've been covering already. So parallel lines, the slope of parallel lines. So this is written as a conditional statement. Remember, if, and then we have a then. So if two non-vertical lines are parallel, then their slopes are equal. Also, if the slopes of two distinct non-vertical lines are equal, then the lines are parallel. All right. Finally, if two vertical lines or any two horizontal lines are parallel. All right, so one of the biggest things we need to make sure we capture is parallel lines have the same slope. Remember the slope symbol, we use the letter M for our slope symbol. Okay, so let's go into perpendicular lines and see how they differ. If their two non-vertical lines are perpendicular, then the product of their slopes is -1. Okay. If the slopes of two lines have a product of -1, then the lines are perpendicular. Okay. Finally, any horizontal line and vertical line are perpendicular. So one thing we want to make sure we capture is the difference in how the slope is measured for a perpendicular line versus a parallel. The slope of a perpendicular line is the opposite reciprocal. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's think about that. Okay, so we're going to use our slope-intercept form that everyone's used to. Okay, and here's our example. We have an equation, 3x minus 2y is equal to 6, and we have points 4 and -1. Okay, we're going to rearrange into slope-intercept form. So first we're going to get rid of our 3x. We're going to go on minus 3x and move it to the other side, minus 3x. Then we're going to rewrite it. Make sure we're all on the same page. So we have minus 2y is equal to minus 3x plus 6. Now we need to divide to get y by itself. So we're going to divide everything by -2. All right, see that? Now we need to reduce to get to our final equation. So we are finished with y is equal to 3 over 2x minus 3. See, we had 6 over -2 is equal to -3. All right, so I'm going to carry that equation over and we're going to keep solving. So now we know the slope of this equation is 3 over 2. Okay, and we know the slope of a line perpendicular to this line is the opposite reciprocal. So what does that mean? That means we turn our slope of 3 over 2, it changes opposite sign, so it changes to be negative, and the reciprocal means it's flipped, is 3 over 2. So the new slope for our perpendicular line is -3 over 2. So now we plug that in. Okie, see that? Okay, now let's solve for b, given the points that we have. So we have y is equal to -2 over 3x plus b. And so I'm going to plug in my two terms. -1 for my y is equal to 2/3 times 4, which is my x, plus b. So if you don't remember how to multiply fractions, remember there's an imaginary 1 underneath this 4. All whole numbers have an imaginary 1 underneath them. So all we do is -2 times 4 is equal to 8, and 3 times 1 is equal to 3. You can put it in the calculator. The calculator will know how to do it. Sometimes if you just want to do it by hand, you can check with the calculator, but you can always use the calculator. Don't make a simple mistake. The calculator is there to help you, okay? Then we rewrite. So I rewrote it. -1 is equal to -8 over 3 plus b. Now we got to get rid of this 8 over 3. So we move him to the other side. So now he becomes positive. So he's positive 8 over 3 minus 1 is equal to b. So now we need to subtract this 1. So how do we handle that? So to add or subtract fractions, you need a common denominator, right? So this negative 1 is also equal to negative 3 over 3, right? 3 over 3 is equal to 1. So now we can subtract it. So 8 take away 3 is 5, and those are the common denominators. So the new answer is 5 over 3. Remember, you can place this in your calculator, and your calculator will do it just lovely for you. As I said, don't make a simple mistake. You have the calculator. If you want to do it by hand, you can always check with the calculator, okay? So now we know B is equal to 5 over 3. Okay, let's do another example. A new equation, y is equal to 5x minus 3. And the 2 points they gave us are 2 and negative 1. Okay, there's our slope-intercept formula. So the slope of this parallel line is 5. See, 5x, 5. So now we need to change it to the negative reciprocal. Okay, so we flip the fraction and add a negative sign. Remember, this 5 is really 5 over 1. So the new slope is negative 1 over 5. So let's plug that in. But first, let me tell you, 2 things to write an equation we need to have is the slope, and we need to have points. Okay? So we're going to use the point slope formula for this time. So y is equal to minus 1. Remember, the formula is y is equal to minus. So we have a minus 1, so it's a minus minus a minus 1. Is equal to minus 1/5, parentheses x, minus 2. That's the formula. See, 2 was normally positive, but the formula requires a negative. So now let's simplify. So minus times a minus is 1. So we have y plus 1 is equal to negative 1/5 x plus 2y. Remember, 2 times 1 all over 5. So let's solve for y. We're going to move the 1 to the other side, and we're going to make it negative. Okay, so y plus 1 minus 1 is equal to negative 1 over 5x plus 2 over 5 minus 1. Now, what did we say about adding or subtracting fractions? We have to get a common denominator in order to do so, okay? So I'm going to turn this negative 1 into negative 5 over 5. So here's my new equation. Y is plus 1, y minus 1 is equal to negative 1 over 5x plus 2 over 5 minus 5 over 5. Okay, and remember, your calculator will do this for you, okay? Okay, so our new equation is y is equal to negative 1 over 5x minus 3/5. Remember, we have positive 2 and negative 5, so that equals negative 3. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, our next example. Y is equal to negative 2 over 3x plus 4. And we have the points 6 and minus 2. Okay, there's our slope-intercept formula. So we know the slope is negative 2 over 3. Now we change to the negative reciprocal. So we flip the fraction and add a negative sign. Well, it's already negative, so a negative times a negative is a positive. So now the new slope is 3 over 2. And we can rewrite it. Y is equal to negative 3 over 2x plus b. Plug in your points. Okay, so the 2 points, remember, y was negative 2. So here we go. Y is negative 2 is equal to 3 over 2 times 6. Remember, this is really 6 over 1 plus b. So let's rewrite it. So 3 times 6 is 18 all over 2. So we have minus 2 is equal to 18 over 2 plus b. Well, if we simplify that down, we get down to minus 2 is equal to 9. 18 divided by 2 is 9 plus b. Okay, so b is equal to 11. Once we move the 9 to the other side, it becomes negative 11. So now we can plug in m and b into our equation. And there we go. Y is equal to 3 over 2x minus 11. All right. Okay, let's do another example. Okay, we have y is equal to 3 over 4x minus 1. And the 2 points they gave us are x and 3x. I'm so sorry. The 2 points they gave us were 8 and negative 3. So there's our form, slope-intercept form. Okay, and we know the slope of our parallel line is 3/4. So now we need to change to a negative reciprocal, flip the fraction and add a negative sign, remember? So our new slope is negative 4/3. Okay, let's write it in the form. Y is equal to negative 4/3x plus b. So now we get to plug in our points. So we have negative 3x. So negative 3y. Negative 3 is equal to minus 4/3 times 8 plus b. So remember, we multiply these two together. So we can rewrite this as negative 3 is equal to negative 32. 4 times 8 is 32, all over 3 plus b. So I want to get rid of this fraction. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. So it makes it a little easier for me. So 3 times negative 3 is 9. And then I have 3 times negative 32/3. So these 3's cancel out, right? So now I'm left with negative 9 is equal to negative 32 plus 3b. We have to multiply our 3 times our b. So we have 3b. So we still haven't gotten b all by himself yet. But now let's go on and move our other constants. So we move 32 to the other side. So it becomes positive. So we have minus 9 plus 32 is equal to 3b. So 32 take away 9 is 23. So 23 is equal to 3b. Oh, and now we just divide both sides by 3. So b is equal to 23/3. And let's plug it back into our equation. Plug in m and b. And so we get y is equal to negative 4/3x plus 23/3. Okay, and that's it for our lesson today. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.